Hello, and welcome to your English listening journey. We're so glad you're here today. This podcast is designed to help you improve your English naturally, just by listening. No pressure, no stress, just simple, clear, and enjoyable English. Take a deep breath, relax, and let the words flow. Today's story is about something many people experience, moving to a new city and starting a new life. Before we begin, here's what you will hear today. A story about a young person arriving in a new place. Feelings of excitement and fear. Meeting new people. And discovering confidence. Try to listen carefully, but don't worry if you don't understand everything. Let's begin. Lena stood quietly at the bus station, holding her small suitcase. It was early morning, and the city was just waking up. She looked around. Everything felt new, unfamiliar, and a little overwhelming. This was her first time in a big city. She had left her hometown just one day ago. Back there, everything was simple. She knew every street, every neighbor, every small shop. But here, everything was different. Tall buildings, busy streets, fast-moving people. Lena took a deep breath. "This is my new life," she whispered to herself. She checked the address on her phone again. A small apartment, not far from the city center. She started walking. The streets were full of energy. Cars passed quickly. People walked with purpose. Some were talking on their phones, others were drinking coffee. No one noticed Lena. And somehow, that made her feel both free and alone. After walking for about 20 minutes, she finally found the building. It was old, but not too bad. She walked inside and climbed the stairs slowly. Third floor. Apartment 12. She stood in front of the door for a moment. Her heart was beating fast. Then she opened it. The apartment was small. One room, a tiny kitchen, and a window that showed part of the street. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. Lena smiled for the first time that day. She put her bag down and sat on the bed. "This is the beginning," she said softly. Later that day, Lena decided to explore the neighborhood. She walked into a small cafe. The smell of coffee was warm and comforting. A young woman behind the counter smiled. "Hi, what would you like?" she asked. Lena hesitated for a moment. A coffee, please." "Sure." "First time here?" the woman asked kindly. "Yes," Lena replied. "I just moved here." "Oh, welcome." "I'm Sarah." "I'm Lena." It was a simple conversation. But for Lena, it meant a lot. A small connection in a big, unknown city. That night, Lena lay in bed, looking at the ceiling. The city was noisy, even at night. She missed her home. She missed her family. "Did I make the right decision?" she thought. Tears filled her eyes. But then she remembered something her mother told her. Growth begins where comfort ends. Lena closed her eyes. Maybe this was not easy, but maybe it was important. The next morning, Lena woke up early. She made a decision. Today, she would be brave. She went out again. This time, she walked with more confidence. She visited a bookstore, then a park, then a small market. At each place, she said simple words. "Hello. Thank you. Have a nice day." And slowly, things began to change. People smiled back. The city felt a little warmer. In the park, Lena sat on a bench. A man nearby was reading a book. After a few minutes, he looked up and said, "Nice weather today, right?" Lena smiled. "Yes, it's beautiful." "I'm Daniel," he said. "I'm Lena." They started talking. About the city. About books. About life. For the first time since arriving, Lena felt comfortable. Not alone. Days passed. Lena continued exploring. She made small conversations. She learned new streets. She found her favorite coffee place. The city was no longer strange. It was becoming familiar. And Lena was no longer afraid. She was growing. Now, let's think about what we heard. Lena moved to a new city. At first, she felt scared and alone. But step by step, she started to connect with people. She became more confident. And slowly, the city became her home. In today's episode, we continue Lena's journey as she slowly begins to feel more comfortable in her new city. You will hear about daily routines, small challenges, and new opportunities. Just relax and listen. Let's begin. A few days had passed since Lena arrived in the city. Things were still new, but not as frightening as before. Every morning, she woke up early. She opened her window and listened to the sounds outside. Cars moving, people talking, doors opening and closing. At first, these sounds felt loud and overwhelming, but now they felt like part of her life. Lena started building a routine. In the morning, she made a simple breakfast: bread and eggs, sometimes fruit, and always a cup of tea. She sat by the window and watched people walking on the street. Some looked busy. Some looked tired. Some looked happy. She wondered about their lives. After breakfast, Lena practiced her English. She listened to podcasts. She repeated sentences. Sometimes she spoke to herself. It felt a little strange at first, but she didn't stop. She knew practice was important. One afternoon, Lena decided it was time to look for a job. She dressed carefully and walked into the city center. There were many shops, offices, and small businesses. She walked into a bookstore. "Excuse me," she said politely. "Are you hiring?" The man behind the counter smiled kindly. "Not right now, but you can leave your resume." Lena nodded. "Thank you." She visited a cafe next. "Hello, we are not hiring at the moment," the worker said. "Another place." Another no. At first, Lena felt a little disappointed. But she didn't give up. This is part of the journey, she told herself. One day, everything felt hard. It was raining. The sky was gray. Lena walked outside, but the city didn't feel warm anymore. She missed her home again. She missed the familiar streets, the quiet evenings, and her family. She sat on a bench and looked down. Maybe I'm not strong enough, she thought. Just then, someone spoke. "Hey, are you okay?" Lena looked up. It was Daniel, the man she met in the park. "Oh, hi," she said softly. "You don't look happy today," he said. Lena smiled a little. "Just a hard day." Daniel sat next to her. "That's normal," he said. "New places are not easy." Lena nodded. "I feel lost sometimes." Daniel smiled. "But you're still here. That means you're strong." Those simple words touched her heart. A few days later, Lena returned to the cafe where she met Sarah. "Hi, Lena," Sarah said with a big smile. "Hi," Lena replied. "You know, we actually need help now. Are you still looking for a job?" Lena's eyes opened wide. "Yes, I am." Sarah laughed. "Perfect. Come tomorrow morning. We'll try a short shift." Lena couldn't believe it. "Thank you so much." That night, Lena felt excited. She prepared her clothes. She practiced simple English sentences again and again. "Hello, what would you like?" "Here is your coffee." "Thank you." She wanted to do her best. The next morning, Lena arrived early. She felt nervous, but ready. Sarah showed her everything: the coffee machine, the menu, how to talk to customers. At first, Lena made small mistakes. She forgot some words. She spoke slowly, but people were patient. They smiled, and that gave her confidence. By the end of the day, Lena was tired, but happy. You did great, Sarah said. Really? Lena asked. Of course. You'll learn quickly. Lena smiled. For the first time, she felt like she belonged. Let's review what happened in today's story. Lena woke up early the next morning, feeling both excited and nervous. It was her second day at the cafe. She stood in front of the mirror and took a deep breath. You can do this, she said quietly. When she arrived, Sarah was already there. Good morning, Sarah said cheerfully. Good morning, Lena replied with a small smile. This time, things felt a little easier. She remembered where things were. She understood more words. And she spoke a little faster. A customer walked in. Hi, can I get a cappuccino? Lena paused for just a second. Then she smiled. Yes, of course. Her voice was still soft, but clearer than before. As the day went on, more customers arrived. Some spoke quickly. Some used words she didn't know. But Lena stayed calm. When she didn't understand, she politely said, Sorry, could you repeat that? And people did. Kindly. By the afternoon, she was moving more confidently, taking orders, serving drinks, smiling more naturally. Sarah watched her and nodded. You're improving fast, she said. Lena felt proud. Later that day, something unexpected happened. A customer became impatient. I've been waiting too long, he said loudly. Lena felt her heart race. I'm sorry, she said quickly. Your order is coming. But the man shook his head. This is not good service. For a moment, Lena felt frozen. Her mind went blank. She didn't know what to say. Then Sarah stepped in. It's okay, Sarah said calmly. We'll take care of it. She handled the situation with confidence. After the man left, Lena looked down. I'm sorry, she said softly. Sarah shook her head. No, you did fine. These things happen. But I felt nervous, Lena said. That's normal, Sarah replied. You're learning. That night, Lena thought about the day. Yes, there was a difficult moment. But there were also many good moments. She helped customers. She spoke English. She didn't give up. She opened her notebook and wrote. Today I was nervous, but I was also brave. She smiled. That sentence felt important. The next few days passed quickly. Lena continued working at the cafe. Each day she improved. She understood more. She spoke more naturally. She even started small conversations. Busy day, right? Nice weather today. Simple sentences, but powerful steps. One morning, a regular customer said, You're new here, right? Lena nodded. Yes, I started last week. Well, you're doing great, he said. Thank you, Lena replied, smiling. That small compliment stayed with her all day. It gave her energy. It gave her confidence. Lena is changing. She is not the same person who arrived in the city. Lena started building a daily routine. She practiced English every day. She looked for a job and faced rejection. She had a difficult emotional day, but she didn't give up. Finally, she got a chance to work in a cafe. Thank you for listening. Remember, progress is not always fast. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it's difficult. But every small step matters. She is stronger, more confident, more open. And step by step, she is building a new life. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and keep learning with us.